Hi there, Leo. Welcome to your September 2023 reading. So open up the month with this card, Artemis Focus. Now this month is a massive month, particularly for your sign, Leo. So on September 4th, Venus is going to move direct in your sign, in your first house. Venus has been retrograde since July the 23rd, has been activating that first house. Now, I've done a separate video on this. If you haven't watched it already, I highly recommend you go and watch that because it goes into all the details about how to utilize this. It's a very important position, a very important placement for you to have Venus retrograding in. For you, it's been all about self-love, self-care, tending to your body, tending to your personality, tending to your goals, your personal goals. You've been getting really real about yourself, who you are as a person, what you love, what you don't love, and what you want for yourself moving forward, what you are valuing in your life now. So you are creating this sense of focus. Now that has been backed up by the Mercury retrograde. So Mercury is in retrograde as well. These two personal planets retrograding is very powerful, transformative, personal transformative time for everybody. So Mercury moved retrograde in Virgo in your second house. That started on August the 24th and it will continue until September 16. But we'll be in this post-retrograde shadow for both Venus and Mercury for the whole of September. So the whole of September will be under the influence of these two retrograde periods until October. As we start to move forward out of that energy in October, things will start to settle down. Maybe around Libra season, which starts on the 23rd of September, things will start to become a little bit more smooth and a little bit more consistent and more normal. So the Mercury retrograde, Mercury is the planet of your mind, your thought habits, and your focus. So it is really bringing your attention to what you are focusing on. Now, in the second house, it is asking you to bring your awareness around your values, around what you value for yourself, what you value in yourself, what you value in other people, and what you value for your life. So these values are really important because they determine, they're like a foundation of structures that determine how we make decisions in our life, what actions we take in our life, what goals we have for ourselves, are all based on our values. So this period of time, you've been getting to know yourself really well with the Venus retrograde, learning to love yourself, learning to be really gentle and compassionate and easy on yourself, and also figuring out what it is that you want, what it is that you value, so that you can focus on that and move towards that. It's really positive energy if you're doing that work and keeping your focus. See, what happens with our focus is wherever our focus goes, our energy flows, and that's how we create our reality. So the Mercury retrograde is Mercury is the planet that rules how we create our reality. It's very creative. And so this is part of that, how you're creating your reality through aligning your state of being with the things that you want for yourself. Now you're coming into the reading as the King of Coins. Really beautiful card to come in to represent you coming into this reading. It means that you've been doing this work. It really means that you have been valuing yourself. The King of Coins knows his own worth. He knows his own value. He never wavers from that. He never questions it. He feels completely and ultimately worthy. And so that's that second house with the Mercury retrograde. The sun's in there as well. But it's also all the work you've been doing with the first house Venus retrograde transit as well since July. So you've been really working on your alignment with worthiness, and it is paying off, Leo. You are feeling very worthy, very good about yourself, feeling like a really solid sense of security is what I feel like. This inner security, security on the inside that can flow through you and out of you to the external. This is what the point of attraction that you're creating around yourself, so you can literally create abundance. I feel like that throughout September could be an amazing time for you to create wealth and abundance for yourself, because this Mercury retrograde that's in your second house, which is the house of your resources, your income, your finances, It is making a really beautiful harmonious trine with all the energy over in Taurus, which represents your 10th house, which is your house of career. So you may have an increase in your wealth or your worth coming from your career. People are seeing your worth, and this is coming from stepping into that alignment, staying focused, so you can stay focused on career potential, on possibilities, and ways to increase your money as well. The universe needs you to believe in miracles. It needs you to believe, Nine of Cups, that everything that you've asked for can be yours. This worthiness is this alignment with worthiness, and then maintaining your focus on all of your desires. See, the Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment. It means that the universe is delivering your wishes to you. It is delivering your hopes and dreams, everything that you've wanted. You need to believe it, though. The universe needs you to believe that in order for it to be able to be delivered. See, it can only match you. But now that you've upgraded, so you upgraded with this Venus retrograde, you upgraded your character, your personality, your personal goals. You've upgraded the way you speak to yourself, the way you speak about yourself. You've upgraded the love you feel for yourself. You will be feeling much more loving, much more kind, in harmony with yourself, within your being. So that is creating this new state of being, this new energy field around your body, where you're attracting new situations, new circumstances that are more loving, more kind, more gentle, more valuable, more worthy. So the universe is asking for you to just stay in that believing mode, believing that it is possible, believing that you can receive it, believing in miracles. See, the environment is showing you your clarity, your sense of clarity. Now, this Queen of Swords can be somebody else, okay? This could be somebody within your environment that is coming. They're wanting to have an honest conversation with you. They're wanting to be, so Three of Coins on the bottom of the deck. Definitely there are other people involved when the Three of Coins comes out. It's other people wanting to work with you. So this Queen of Swords, it's either your environment is helping you to clean up any like last little bits of vibration that is not in alignment with what we've been talking about, with this worthiness, with these miracles coming in. But I'm feeling for you, actually, this Queen of Swords is somebody else, somebody who is very clear-headed, somebody who's very logical, very rational, somebody who has a lot of knowledge, a lot of intellect. They use their intellectual abilities, their wisdom, their knowledge to benefit either you or themselves or everybody involved. They may be wanting to have conversations with you, somebody wanting to talk to you. This is coming up for you, for your benefit. It's for the purpose of collaboration. So maybe there's somebody within your career, within your field, your work field, that wants to collaborate with you, wants for the purpose of uplifting your finances, uplifting your abundance, okay? Somebody who sees your worth, sees this shining worthiness that you are emanating at this time. All that work you've done in the last couple of months, it's shining out of you. People are starting to notice. They're wanting to come together and do some work there. We have the Page of Swords in reverse, the Ace of Swords, and the Four of Coins. So when Mercury is retrograde, there is this possibility of having this miscommunication, Page of Swords, people missing the beat, misunderstanding us, there's just misalignment of two people or more people, okay? There can be lost emails, there can be misinterpreted messages, there can be all that kind of stuff happens with Mercury in retrograde, mostly because most of the people that are engaging with this energy are doing it in an unconscious, they're not doing it deliberately, they're doing it in an unconscious way. And so with the Mercury retrograde, what happens is our unconscious bubbles to the surface and becomes conscious. We have this ability, this unique ability to really start to see and tap into our unconscious mind more easily. But for most people, when that happens and they're not aware that that's what's happening, they react. There's reactions that come out, and their defense mechanisms come up. Four of Coins. This may be happening to you this month. There may be communications that that have been misunderstood either from you or by you. There may be this inability to get your point across, although with the Ace of Swords there could be an opportunity as well to get your point across, to gain clarity. I like this Queen of Swords with the Ace of Swords in terms of being clear, but you need to make sure that you are speaking very clearly, and you also need to make sure that you're not speaking from a defensive space. If you're in that defensive space, okay, that's when these miscommunications come up. So it's about looking within yourself, finding your intentions is what I'm hearing. What is your motive behind this speaking, that what you're trying to communicate? What's the motivation behind it? Your people usually will feel your intentions more than listen to your words. So making sure that your intention is in alignment. And then if there is misunderstandings, knowing that once Mercury moves forward and into October, that can be cleared up. So we've got the Star and the Knight of Cups in reverse. So exactly what I was saying, there could be communications throughout this month, throughout September. You may be communicating with somebody or multiple people, and they're really coming from the heart space. They're coming from a hurt heart space. See, what happens with Venus in retrograde, what's happened up until now is Venus has been encouraging everybody to move through the world with an open heart. We've been all encouraged to feel into our hearts and let our hearts take the lead. And so for a lot of people, that has meant a pain. If they're not used to that, if they're very resistant to it, if they're closed off from it, the Four of Coins, then that's a painful process. It's not a comfortable process. It's not a familiar process. And so instead of stepping up and answering the call of opening the heart, speaking from the heart, acting from the heart, they react to the pain. And so there's two sides of it. The lower manifestation of that is a lot of like even violence to that point, or like violent words that are coming from a deep space of pain, but they're trying to protect themselves. So a lot of people are doing that. There was this conjunction with Lilith that was sort of like setting the tone of that Venus retrograde. So there was a lot of feelings of rejection, of abandonment, of feeling not good enough, feeling cast out, and people were feeling these raw emotions of pain at that time. So this Knight of Cups in reverse, you may be dealing with somebody or multiple people who are reacting from that painful space. And so they're not able to hear you. They're not able to see the clarity of what you're trying to communicate. Or maybe that this is you. Okay, Leo, so if this is you, if you're feeling a lot of discomfort, a lot of emotional pain at this time, just recognize that you're coming from that defensive place, that you're coming from that emotional wounding rather than clarity and logic. So there's an opportunity there to realign your focus, to shift your focus. And remember your value. Remember that miracles are possible. Opening your heart space. There's healing available with the Star in reverse. It is available, but it's more challenging when it's reversed. So there's something that needs to be done to turn that star around so that healing is possible, so that you can have hope for the future with this person or with multiple people, that this hopeful emotion. So if you're feeling hopeless about a situation, it's because the communication has been off. Page of Swords, there's been a misunderstanding, a miscommunication, and that's where this hopelessness is coming from. And we have the Six of Coins. So there's a need to drop into receptivity at this time to receive this person or these people, to receive your emotions, okay? So allowing there to be this equilibrium. The Six of Coins is about creating balance, creating harmony and equilibrium, okay? There's equal give and take, this flow between two people. So if somebody is really reacting with a lot of strong emotions and you're feeling that's overwhelming to you, then the balance is not quite there, okay? There's no There's no equilibrium there, so that's something to be addressed. Dropping into your receptive mode is a really good space to be in, because remember all this work you've been doing up until now. You've come into this reading as a King of Coins, as a valuable person, someone who knows their worth, knows their value, feels really good about themselves. You can maintain that focus and know that you're worthy of receiving respect and honor and harmonious treatment from other people as well. Holding that space with yourself and maintaining the clarity. So keeping on point with the Ace of Swords and the Focus card. If somebody is trying to sway the conversation into tangents, just keep yourself on point. Keep the conversation on point. Keep bringing it back to the main point that you're trying to make, the Ace of Swords, the clear point that you're trying to make. Don't let them pull you into tangents. Don't let them pull you into this emotional confusion, because that's not going to be healing for you. We have Bountiful Harvest and Inner Truths. Interesting. Okay, so the Bountiful Harvest, like I said at the very beginning of the reading, we've got that Mercury retrograde trying Taurus energy. So there is this possibility of you creating more wealth for yourself. It is coming, like I said, from this place of feeling worthy of more wealth, more resources. So you're upgrading, up-leveling your alignment with abundance, with overflowing fullness, with feeling worthy of money, of finances. So there could be this bountiful harvest that comes in for you this month. So there's two stories going on here. This inner truths, okay, this is that other storyline that I was talking about with the Knight of Cups here. So this may not even be another person that is pulling you into these tangents, okay? It may be something within yourself, and this is not uncommon under this energy. So the Mercury retrograde, like I said, it's bringing all of our unconscious into the conscious for us to be aware of, to shine a light on, to reflect on and adjust and analyze and create some new truths for ourselves. So I have done a separate video on the Mercury retrograde as well as the Venus retrograde, so go and watch that too, because this is really important. If things are coming to the surface for you out of the unconscious and they're feeling overwhelming, they're feeling like these really disharmonious emotional discomfort, okay, this is about looking within and finding these inner truths. There's an opportunity to change your inner truth at this time. We're all changing. You've already changed on such a profoundly deep level with that Venus retrograde, and now this Mercury retrograde is you're able to add the thought habits around it. So the Mercury retrograde is all about changing our thought patterns, our thought habits, our unconscious beliefs, so our belief systems, our foundational belief systems that influence our emotions and our actions and our state of being. So this is what we're changing at this time when we find things that are uncomfortable, things that aren't aligned with this valuable, miracle-oriented, miracle-focused person. You may find like a limiting belief comes to the surface around a lack of worthiness or a lack of ability to receive or something like that, coming up. And it's about analyzing these truths. Is that true? Is it really true? Or is this something that you've told yourself enough, like so many times? That's what a belief is. A belief is a thought that we've thought so many times that it becomes automatic. So it becomes unconscious, an unconscious habit. That's all that beliefs are. They're not necessarily true. That's why we have so many limiting beliefs that hinder us. So things like, I am not worthy, I am not lovable, money doesn't grow on trees, people like me don't get those kinds of opportunities. Those kinds of beliefs, they operate in the background. We don't even realize that they're operating in the background, and they trip us up. This Knight of Cups in reverse, Star in reverse, they trip us up, they sabotage us. Okay, so this month is all about questioning your inner truths, questioning your belief systems. So looking at where you're feeling discomfort, looking at where you're feeling uncomfortable or emotional discomfort this month, that's a really great way to stop and go, okay, there's a limiting belief here somewhere. I need to find it, and to go deeper within yourself and find that limiting belief. What is the limiting belief? Is it true? You can test it against reality. You can start questioning it, testing it, start unraveling that a little bit. and then deciding what truth you would actually like to think in its place. So you need to replace it, and then you need to repeat the new truth enough times in repetition, consistently, deliberately, over and over again, until that becomes an automatic pattern. So that's what's available this month throughout September. And like I said, as we move into the end of September and into October, this work will become easier. It's just a really intense period at this time, and throughout August as well. And this month is time to surrender your addictions. Whether you're addicted to substance, food, people, sex, or overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. So we literally become addicted to certain thought habits. Okay, when we think thoughts enough times, and it becomes our subconscious programming, it becomes our unconscious programming, our physical body is programmed with these thoughts. And so whenever we think those thoughts, we release a chemical cascade similar to drugs, similar to smoking, similar to alcohol, sex, similar to the dopamine hits we get when we click add to cart, those kinds of things. These thought habits, they release chemicals in our body. And so when we start to shift those thoughts, our body gets very uncomfortable because it's not familiar with the new thoughts, and it is looking for its hit of chemicals that it would produce if it had those familiar common thoughts. This is why it can be so hard to break beliefs, to break habits, because we have to override our biology. We have to override our physical body. And so this is a time where this work needs to be done. This is the extension of the Venus retrograde. In the Venus retrograde, you are learning to love yourself. This is how we love ourselves. So at this time, there may be a need for tough love, Leo. Tough love in terms of, I'm not going to think those thoughts just because you want that chemical hit. The body wants that chemical hit. I'm going to think these new thoughts because in the long run, that's going to be the best for me. That is going to get me where I want to go. These thoughts, they feel good in the short term because they're an addiction. Now, you may actually be fighting other addictions like substances or sex or addicted to another person, and that could be what's causing this emotional upheaval for you. Again, this is time to surrender those addictions, time to dig in, Leo. This is how we show ourselves love. Love's not always bubble baths and cups and tea. Sometimes it's hard work, but that's how we love ourselves. So definitely dig in and do the work this month. Master the step you are on. So really that's just telling you that, you've come in this really positive space. You've come in from that Venus retrograde energy doing really well. Now you need to keep the focus, maintain that focus, maintain we're wrapping some new narratives around our life, or you're wrapping new narratives around your life that are congruent, that are coherent with this new valuable person, this new self-love. So stick with it. Don't let yourself fall back into old patterns. Start to navigate with new thought habits, new conscious and unconscious programs. Don't be afraid to slow down, as this is when you can make real inner changes. So, we're working on the inner truths. We're working on addictive processes. It's going to require you to listen to your body, listen to your mind. You're going to need to slow down with the Mercury retrograde. The absolute very best way that you can navigate a Mercury retrograde is key to do meditation, to meditate. So the people that meditate through the Mercury retrogrades have the most chance of reaping the benefits of the Mercury retrograde. So highly recommend that you meditate, but even just slowing down throughout your day, taking deep breaths throughout the day, listening to yourself. This is the point to the Mercury retrograde, is it makes our thoughts easier to acknowledge, easier to be aware of. So use this time to stop and listen. Listen to the thoughts that you think on autopilot. We think them so automatically that we don't even realize we're thinking them. So don't allow that this month to go by. Stop, slow down, and take in what's going on so that you can make real changes. And work daily towards improving your mental health. Exactly, with that Mercury retrograde, we're working on the mental level. Mercury is the planet of the mind. We're working on thought habits. We're improving. And like I said, it requires consistency. It requires diligence. It requires you to do it every day, all throughout the day, taking the time. So working every day this month to make those changes on the mental level. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that, Leo. Thank you for being here with me. I do appreciate you so much. I appreciate your time. Please do give this a like and subscribe to my channel. That really helps me. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a really beautiful month.